Trenton, Governor Christie said Friday he had been fairly consistent on gun control and had not changed his position on the issue by supporting a ban on a device used by the Las Vegas gunman to increase his rate of fire. That's because, Christie said, so-called bump stocks, which can use the recoil of a firearm to effectively turn it into an automatic weapon, aren't actually guns, so a law banning the mechanism can't be considered gun control. Story continued below. What I said was, I'm not in favor of infringing any further on people's Second Amendment rights, Christie said at an unrelated press conference. They have no Second Amendment right to own a bump stock. I am pretty confident that James Madison and the rest of the crew were not considering bump stocks when they wrote the Second Amendment to the Constitution. It is legal to possess a bump stock in New Jersey, unless it is utilized on a firearm or in the vicinity of a firearm on which it could be placed, according to the state police. Earlier this week, the Republican governor chastised Democrats who had been proposing new laws, calling them political opportunists and arguing that government can't solve all problems. He said new gun control laws would not have stopped 64-year-old Stephen Paddock from opening fire Sunday on a country music festival, killing 58 and injuring nearly 500. Asked specifically about bump stocks during a radio interview on Monday, Christie said people can buy the mechanism on the internet, and that no law is going to stop that. By Thursday afternoon, after some Republican leaders in Washington and the National Rifle Association signaled support for further curbs on the device, Christie said in a statement that he would likely back legislation banning its sale and possession. Lieutenant Governor Kim Guadagno, the Republican nominee to replace Christie in January, also said Thursday she would support a ban on bump stocks, after saying earlier in the week she would oppose all new gun laws, though she might support stiffer penalties for existing crimes. Christie, a former U.S. attorney who ran for the Republican nomination for president last year, has been erratic on the issue of guns over the decades. When he campaigned for state senate in the 1990s, he attacked his Republican primary opponent as being weak on gun control. After taking office as governor in 2010, Christie defended the state's strict handgun law in court. Later, as he was preparing to run for president, his administration stopped doing so. In 2012, after the Sandy Hook school shooting in Connecticut, Christie proposed numerous changes his office said would help reduce gun violence, including a ban on any weapon that is substantially identical to the Barrett .50 caliber. When lawmakers sent him that legislation, he vetoed it, complaining it banned all guns that carry ammunition of that caliber or larger. Tellingly, the legislature points to no instance of this class of firearms being used by even a single criminal in New Jersey, Christie wrote to the lawmakers. The wide scope of this total ban, therefore, will not further public safety, but only interfere with lawful recreational pastimes. And, a day before announcing his failed bid for president, Christie appointed a commission to study the state's gun laws and announced other changes that had been sought by gun rights advocates. The governor has also signed more than a dozen gun-related pardons. Christie said Friday he's taken his positions on the Second Amendment, at least since becoming governor, fairly consistently. But Phil Murphy, the Democrat nominee in the race to replace him, said both Christie and Guadagno appeared to shift this week and accused them of following the political winds. He said he had been dumbstruck by their comments earlier in the week and, asked about their decisions to support a ban on bump stocks, held his finger up in the air. Now all of the sudden the NRA, or the gun lobby, gives a permission slip to be able to widen your latitude, Murphy told reporters after an unrelated event Friday. That's what it feels like to me, honestly. Christie fired back a short time later, saying no one is better at knowing what that is all about than Murphy. Unlike Phil Murphy, I'm not running for anything, so I don't have to stick my finger in the wind for anything, Christie said. It's just another indication of how really sophomoric he is, because you stick your finger in the wind when you care which way the wind's blowing. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 102 days to go. I ain't worried about which way the wind's blowing anymore. Catherine Landergan contributed to this report.